I've done 100 runs of Wrath of the Lich King Dungeon, the Nexus. Here's how I did it and what I got. Yo, what's up guys, and welcome back for another video. It's again Saturday, and you know what that means. It's a dungeon walkthrough. I'm going to walk you through this dungeon right here, which is the Nexus. It's Wrath of the Lich King expansion. And before we actually go into the dungeon and I run it for you and show you the route, and of course the loot at the very end, I'll quickly want to show you the location of this place, because last time in Hellfire Ramparts I actually forgot to do it. So let's make sure we don't forget it this time. And I'm gonna put on the map here. We're gonna locate this place here. So obviously it's in Northrend because it's a Wrath of the Lich King dungeon. It's over here in this place here that I can't pronounce, and it's right over here on this island, this big island. The Nexus, the name says, is right here, and it's there's actually two places that you can there are two dungeons in here. But the one that we are doing today is all the way at the bottom down here. I think there's one more a little bit further up. There's a raid there as well. But the one we're doing is all the way down here in the bottom. We're gonna jump in. We're gonna run the route, and I'm gonna show you guys the loot at the very end. Um, as if you've watched any of my other Breath of the King Dungeon, I think I actually might only have one out right now. But I've been talking about it a lot on stream. Yes, I do live stream over on Twitch, the TV. It's Little Figs, as well as my YouTube name here. But if you watched any of my streams or or the last video about my Wrath of the Lich King dungeon, you would know I've been talking a lot about these dungeons, the Wrath of the Lich King dungeons, having a lot of fake valued items. Basically, a lot of items that is way more expensive than they should be, and like the prices don't match the rarity and the drop rate and stuff like that. So they are very expensive, but they're not very hard to get. So the prices don't really match the items. And there is some in this dungeon as well, which you're gonna be noticing at the very end when I show you the loot, because it's actually ridiculous for this particular dungeon. There's a few items in here that is so expensive, which they should not be. But of course, I'm gonna run the route first here. As you can see, I'm well on the way. It's a fairly short dungeon. I think I have my TSM open. Oh, it's been open for a while now. Taking me a while to start the recording, I guess. But yeah, um, it's not a very long dungeon. Kind of lost my track there. It's not a very long dungeon. It's pretty short, and you will also exit. Well, you finish the dungeon kind of where you exit slash entrance. The entrance is. So so it's not really necessary to be a druid either. You know, I've always mentioned either a speed set or a druid, but you don't really need any of them for this dungeon. Obviously, like the dream mode, you don't use in this place, but it's always nice to have. So if you are even considering getting all of these dungeons done, or doing all the dungeons as I do, might as well just do it on a druid because it's much easier. But on this particular dungeon, you don't actually need it, and you don't need a speed set either. Of course, that still makes it better. You reduce the time you're actually spending inside the dungeon, and you have more time to do other stuff. Um, but besides that, this is probably not a very good dungeon to do. Um, yeah, as I said, there's a few items that is very fake valued, um, and that goes for a lot of items. Some of them are really, really, really overpriced, and some of them are just overpriced. So, in terms of loot that you want to get in here, you don't really have much you want to go for. I think I got one piece that is probably going to sell for the actual value that it's worth. So it's pretty bad, and actually, um, not very much. It's not worth doing properly. As I got here, you can see I've done the whole run. I don't kill that boss, which means I can't kill the last boss because I can't do the orbs. And instead of killing that one mob right there, which is probably the only mob I left out, I just kill that one. Like I take a left after I kill that three, the tree, the big tree, and then I right back at the start, and then I just run back out right here. I think it takes about 3.5 minutes, 4 minutes to do. Obviously now my TSM wasn't resetted from the start, so I can't actually check. But then you're out and you can mount up, you can sell, you can do whatever, reset the dungeon, and you can run back in. But for this case, I have already done 100 runs, and was the 101, and now here is the loot. Yeah, so let's go through it. which is why we do these dungeons to see what we can actually get in a place like this. And for the particular the Wrath of the Lich King dungeon, I want to see what you can actually get and whether they will sell or not. Because I will at some point make a summary videos about the dungeons that I've done in Wrath of the Lich King and see what items actually sell and how good they actually are. Because I've never done them before, so this is going to be the first time around, and I'm actually going to do all of the Wrath of the Lich King dungeon to see if they're actually worth it. But so far, they're not. But let's go through the items anyways. First off, we got Frostweave Cloth. You always get a lot of these when you're doing Wrath of the Lich King dungeon. I have almost over 5,000 of them, so I'm probably gonna vendor these because I have too many anyways. You get the let's just pick this up a little bit so we can actually see the text. You get the crystallized earth, which you can obviously make into eternal earth, which is pretty like it's a little bit of value. I'm keeping them because I do them. I use them for my crafted materials. I was about to say crafted transmog pieces. And some of these are used in some of them, so that's why I'm keeping these. But you can decide to sell them if you want, or just vendor them if you don't need them at all. Um, yeah, most of the things I've kept is actually weapons. I didn't actually get that many armor pieces. I got this belt here, which is 22 apparently. Probably fake value. You see, region sales average is 40 gold. So, why should people sell it for 40 gold when it's 22,000 worth 22,000 on my server? Probably because it's not. This one here has actually gone up since I clicked the record button because it was not 146,000 when I actually did the video. Well, before I started the video, but apparently it's now. I think it was actually around 11 when I initially looked, but 100 almost 50,000 gold again, very fake valued. We got this stuff here again, fake value because there's a lot of recalls of this, and that goes for a lot of these items here. But 112,000 gold. Nope. We've got a crossbow here, which is 12k, which is probably all right. I mean, crossbows and bows in general can sell, and like these are like kind of unique. I don't know if there's any recalls of this one, but they have like a little bit of a unique look compared to like this one here. So they might actually sell, but 12 is fairly decent. I don't think 110 is going to be. Yeah, that's not going to sell either. But yeah, a few bows, a crossbow, and a bow. 109 apparently for that one. This stuff here, okay. I mean, it's kind of unique. I don't know. I think there's a few recalls of this one as well, but 28,000 apparently on my server. 109 for this dagger here. I got two of them. Fake value. And this one, this axe here is 60,000 gold. Fake value again. This axe here is all the way down to 10k. Probably not even going to sell for that price, but we'll see. 15,000 for this wand, which is not going to sell it either, I think. We've got 53,000 on this sword here, which probably looks more like a dagger because it's so small. We've got four of them. Most likely not going to sell for that price. Again, fake value. A 3k shield, which has a 0.02 sell rate. So this is probably one of the better, well, better I say, not valued, of course, but in terms of actually getting sold, and this is probably one of the better because 0.02 sell rate, which is pretty okay for Transmog. We got this other shield here, which is 12k. All right, I think shields tend to sell. Again, I'm gonna test it out. These are all. I have actually no clue, but I'm gonna put them on the auction house. I'm gonna test out if they sell, and I mean, like once I'm about to get finished with all the Wrath of the Lich King dungeons, I'm gonna make a video about whether the whole expansion basically is worth doing. But until then, I'm gonna do the runs obviously, and then make a video about how much gold you can potentially make in them. Yes, another shield. Sorry, another shield. But you can see this is the normality of these dungeons, or this is the what happens in these dungeons. This is the items you can get in these dungeons. Because look at these, they are pretty much the same, right? And like the slight recolors, and that goes for a lot of items as well. Like this one here, I think they have the same colors. And this one here is also like slightly recolors, just like these shields are. And that goes for a lot of items in here. So that's why these are probably not valued to that price, like especially not 112, because there's like 3 or 4 weapons that look exactly the same almost. But yeah, 34,000 gold for the shield apparently. And then we're gonna go to the blues, which has a pair of gloves here for 1.3, a pair of shoulders here. You can get multiple colors of this one as well, but at 2.5. We got these feet there, or boots, which is 6.2 apparently on my server right now. It's probably going to go down in value. You can see the other numbers: market value, region, history, like historical price, and all those. And then to the item that is probably one of the only ones that is actually like it's a decent item. It's pretty much the only decent item in this whole bag, and that is this one right here. This fist weapon, which is 30,000 gold right now. It's kind of good looking. I think you can get this particular transmog from a boss or something. I think there's a boss that gives this particular transmog. But this is probably the only good piece that is actually going to sell for any gold. So it's pretty bad, this dungeon. I also got a quest here, jewel crafting quest. I don't even know if this is going to sell, but it has a good sell rate and it's 5k. So I'm just going to try. Hopefully it sells. And then 2 items that is going to fuck this whole video up. Sorry, my language again. Yeah. 2.5 million for this particular mace. Um, sure, sure. I'm gonna sell this for 2.5 million. Any takers? Any bidders? We can go down to 2 million if you want to. Just contact me. Comment below if you want it. I'll put it down for 2k, 2 million. Sorry, and then you can buy it. You can snipe it off me, and you can post it for 2.5 million yourself. Right? Good deal. No, this is the reason why these dungeons are so like you don't know if you're gonna make any gold elements. You don't know if you get any good items because this is gonna show up and you're gonna have to, you don't like if you don't know these items. This is shit looking as well, and it's like yeah, this is why people probably don't farm Wrath of the Lich King dungeons because there's you can't rely on your TSM. You have to know the items. You have to try to sell the items before you actually like. You have to have the knowledge about these items yourself because you can't rely on like TSM to tell you whether the item is good or not. Because of something like this. But this you obviously can tell this is fake value. You're not gonna sell it for that price ever. And even worse, this one right here, boom, a staff. Um, which is apparently posted for fucking. Sorry, my language again. I'm frustrated about these dungeons. It's posted for a gold cap basically. So any takers, any takers, I'll happily sell it for. We can even go down to 5 million if you want to. Then I'll finish my challenge of making a gold cap. No, but you can see this is just stupid, man. Like people posting these for gold cap. Like why? Why? There's like 5 recolors of this piece. It's super easy to get. I've probably vendored 10 of them. I could have 100 million gold right now if I've sold them all. Right. Um, but this is the reason why these dungeons are actually capped, man. It's so stupid that people can like even think about posting this item like this for a gold cap, which is gonna mess up the prices completely. But nonetheless, just to make the ridiculous number, I'm gonna press my macro here, and you can see I've made what 11. How much is it? That's 11.6 million gold, which is obviously not true. If we decide to sell these, I'm gonna press the macro again. You can see I'm all the way down to about a million. Only 900,000, which is pretty decent. But look at these items; they are not gonna sell. If I sold all of my fake value items, I would be left with like 100k maybe. So the Nexus, pretty bad place to go farm. Do it if you feel like it. I wouldn't recommend it at all. But yeah, I have to do them. I have to post these auctions. No, I don't have to. I choose to do them to show you guys whether you should do them or not. And this is definitely not a recommended dungeon to do for my part. But yeah, let's just go to the next one, and let's hopefully that is better. But that was it for this video. Hopefully you enjoyed. Hopefully it stopped you from doing this dungeon, because it definitely should. So leave it a like if it did, and comment below whether you want one of my weapons, man. Gold cap, come on. I know you want to. Uh, if you do, that's crazy. But feel free if you want. I'm gonna rebuy them just in case. But also, don't forget to subscribe to watch the next one, so you can watch more warnings about Lich King dungeons that you should not do, because they're not really that good. They're not really giving you that much gold per hour. And also, as I mentioned, go over to twitch.tv and follow me over there, and you can see all the dungeons even before I post them on YouTube, because I do have to finish 100 runs of the particular, well, all the dungeons basically, before I can gather the loot and make a YouTube video. So you probably will see them on Twitch before you can actually see them on YouTube. So go do that, and I'll very much appreciate it. And besides that, there's nothing more to say than have a good one, stay safe, take care of yourself and all that, and I'll see you in the next video.